Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsbeat Nightly. Very interesting day here, and we had a lot of interesting stuff. And I think one of the more interesting things that a lot of the trial members were asking for was the read on algorithms. Like, how did I know the volume was going to come in and whatever? And basically, just about technical analysis in general. There were a lot of phenomenal calls in the room, to say the least, and we're just going to go over a bunch of them right now. I did give you guys some really good news. I did give you guys some really good news, and that's that the news flow is going to be back in a very major manner. You see, news flow is a very funny game. News flow, unfortunately, is stereotypically is about who you know. Unless you're paying for some subscription, behind every subscription is somebody getting the news flow. So, for example, Bloomberg is one of the better services out there. It costs several $1,000s for a monthly subscription. But you have to realize when Bloomberg is posting something, there is a guy at the main Bloomberg terminal headquarters who is literally getting that information and typing it out to you. That is literally what is happening every single time. And think of it like this. Think of it that there was somebody who had to get the information to that guy who was typing it to you through the Bloomberg terminal, and there had to be somebody else, maybe even beyond that and beyond that and beyond that. And that's just really sort of trying to explain to you the trickle of news flow and how it actually comes through. And depending on where you are on that ladder is pretty much dependent on when you're going to see something. Depending on where you are within that ladder structure is dependent on when you get the news. So it's funny, when you as a technical analyst have to study, you're probably studying charts, right? You're out there, you're probably looking at dozens and dozens of charts trying to figure out where a stock can bottom, where it could top out. Don't worry, I do that as well. But when it comes to the news side, they're out going to bars, strip clubs, giving each other lavish gifts with the entire intention of making a connection that's going to help them in the future. So I was speaking to someone, and I was like, oh, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm not in front of my computer. Where are you? And he's like, well, I'm at this convention show at Broadway. He's like, at a convention show at Broadway. And he's sitting up front with someone else. And he's like, yeah, somebody got me tickets. So, without asking any further, I'm pretty sure I understood the situation, that somebody gifted him tickets to see that show. That's honestly, I would call that the disgusting part of the news world. That's the part that I'm not so crazy about because it's unfair. And unfortunately, life isn't fair, but that's part of it. So, literally, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you that unfair advantage. And there's no nicer way of saying that. Some of you guys are like, oh, Mark, how did you see the circuit breaker? Oh, Mark, how did you get that? Where are you subscribing to? Where are you getting this? And telling you where isn't going to help you. That's the funny part about the business. So pretty much what I'm trying to do in this room, what I'm trying to bring to you is something very unique. I'm trying to bring you the best news flow possible. The people who talk to me and get us these really early news ideas, you guys were capitalizing on them, like Costco, for example. We beat Bloomberg to the Costco news. Many of you guys were like, hey, what's happening in Costco? I have no idea. I'll show you a 5-minute chart. So Costco started exploding. So I'm like, what's happening with Costco? and they're like, "Oh, Walmart or BJ's clubs, they're closing down. They're closing down stores." So the thoughts is, if BJ's wholesale club, if you've ever been to one, it's like a Costco. It's like a warehouse where they sell, bulk everything. And obviously, if they're closing them down, people might go to Costco. So, 1 second. Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to build a bridge between technical analysis and news flow for you guys. I think a combination of both is important now more than ever. Because I'm telling you right now, if this was 20 years ago, we're back in 98, 99, 2000, if this was like 20 years ago, we wouldn't need any of this stuff. We would look at any chart pattern at day highs, we would buy it, and it would go higher. And then we would add more as it went higher, and it would go higher. Then we would add a third time, and it would go higher. And that's really like what it was. It was funny. We actually tested. It was we actually tested that in my old firm. I used to trade at 57th and Lexington in Manhattan back in '99. The place was called Tradescape. It was run by the guy Omar. I'm not going to get into details about the whole company. But basically, what we did was, I was in a room with 5 other traders. Our own personal suite. It was kind of large. We had a ton of space in between us. And what we did was, I literally took a newspaper. I literally taped it up against the wall, and we had the game. We had the dart game, and we put it against one of those the compressed wood board so we could throw darts at it. And we literally would throw a dart, and whoever's dart hit, we would take a turn once a week throwing the dart, and we would all buy some shares of that stock. I probably made not a lot of money, because you'd buy like 500 shares, 1,000 shares. I probably made, over the course of a year, playing the dart game, over the course of the year, I probably made around $150,000 just playing the dart game. And every day, somebody in the room, because we had like 5 other traders, so we would rotate, and everybody would throw the dart. And here was the rule. If we all lost money, if every single one of us lost money, that person would have to buy us lunch. And that was that was the game. But times have changed. The market has evolved. News has evolved. Everything has evolved. You need to understand algorithms. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody out there will teach you algorithmic analysis the way I will. This is not sounding cocky. This is true. Nobody understands the algorithms out there as a broadcaster better than me. No one on earth. In terms of broadcasters, how many trading broadcasters are there out there? 50? 75? 100? There's not a large community of trading broadcasters. 150? None of them have that experience that I do in terms of understanding the algorithms. Most of them, if not all of them, have not really worked with top firms to develop algorithms for black box trading. This is an advantage we have here. This is an advantage when we look at names like First Solar. And I want to show you what happened. And this is going to really show you something awesome. I'm really going to teach you stuff here. And by the way, the whole point of this Costco chart was we were giving you guys Costco and 185.90s right over here, 185.90s, and it just kept exploding, and a lot of you guys just made your day on that. because we're able to read the news effectively. Now I want to show you First Solar. Julian brought it to our attention early, and we work like a community. Why? Because I'll show you. And I even want to copy and paste because, oh, it won't let me scroll that far up, unfortunately. I guess it auto deletes. Basically, what he did was he was sharing his analysis on First Solar. Then I came out after him and I put out some bullish news on First Solar. We're working together. First Solar, look what it does. Right off the open, explodes up. I missed this whole move. It opened up at 70.30. In 10 minutes, it basically shot to 74 bucks. It jumped up $4 in 10 minutes. Most people are so disgusted, unless you are in it, are so disgusted with the stock at that point. But look, let me show you something else. Oh, what's this? Rising wedge. So even though it's a bull flag, you knew you were going to break down. You didn't know when. It could have happened at 10:20, 10:25. You weren't sure, but it actually happened right here. And this is where we bought. I think, I don't remember my exact entry, if you guys remember, what was it? 73.41, 73.43. I was like basically dealing with like a 10 to 15 cent risk of First Solar. Long right over here, right at the bottom, calling it in real time. 15 minutes later, First Solar exploded to $1.70. Not only $1.70 higher. And then obviously went higher and higher through the day. We even noted something big here. Now let me show you something. I'm going to teach you now what an A+ trigger is. Now, an A+ trigger is a mathematical formula I invented to read algorithms. Again, I'm not... please don't ever misconstrue one word I ever say as cocky. I'm just literally explaining it to you. Believe me, I'm one of the most humble people you'll ever meet. So like right over here, look at this week of September 2011, the last week of September 2011. You see how you have a high there of 67.72? You move a little bit to the left and you see, the last week of September 2011 is actually $76 is the high there. That's where the A+ trigger came from. And a break of that level could get you 84.82. So what I'm telling you right now is there's no resistance to 84.82. Please also keep in mind in First Solar, when the stock was in the 50 range, we put like a $100 target on it, just by the way. But forget about that. Now I want to show you how the A+ trigger works. You want to write this down? Write it down. This is going to bring value to you whether you sign up for this room or not. I honestly, it never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me why serious traders would not sign up for this room. Is it because, you know, why am I saying that? Am I pitching you? Is it about you forking over your credit card and being part of our community? No, it isn't. Because like I said before, for the year of 2017, less than 1/10 of 1% of my income did come from T3. Now, why do I say that? It's not that T3 doesn't pay me enough. It's that I make so much more money trading that the money I make from T3 is an insignificant part of my life. Financially speaking, being part of the community is a very significant part of my life. We're talking strict financially. So when I'm asking you to, you know, look at what we're doing here and join the room, I'm going to teach you things that is published in no book out there. What I'm showing you with the A+ triggers, if you see it anywhere, it's somebody who copied me. And you won't find it anywhere. So what I was telling you guys today during the day while we were trading First Solar, excuse me, was that $76 was an A+ trigger. Now what happened here was we hit $76, but while we were hitting it here, I told you we didn't trigger. You were seeing the bid and offer. So how does a stock trigger? How does an A+ trigger work? Tell me, Mark. Tell me how an A+ trigger works. Well, I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to make it very easy. Let's see if I have it here. No. Okay. So I'm going to break it down in a new way that I've never shown before. So this is an A plus trigger. Let me make the font larger because I can. It's easier to see for everyone. All right, so A plus trigger. How does it go off? Next week, I'm going to teach you. I can't fit in full educations for you guys every day, but I will show you what an A plus trigger does and how you know when it will trigger. So how did I know when when First Solar was printing 7605, why didn't the $76 trigger go off? And if you remember me in the chat and the audio, I was telling you guys, it didn't trigger, it didn't trigger, it didn't trigger. But then it eventually came up and then it triggered. So how does it come off? So let's say, for example, First Solar example, trigger is at $76. And I'm telling you guys before it comes, you know, this trigger is massive. It's a tremendous level. You have to watch it. So how does it go off? How do the algorithms interpret it? I'm going to show you. It's so easy to read that once you actually start applying this, you're going to be like, oh my God, who thought of this? Yeah, sitting in front of charts for 14 hours a day and trading for the past almost 19 years will do that to you, especially if you're dedicated. So how does a trigger come off? A bid of $76 or more must come in and hold there for at least 1 second. A 100 share or more print must go off on the offer at any price above the bid. That's it. You want to screenshot this? Do it. I never explained it like this before. So in order for an A plus trigger for First Solar to go off, a bid of $76 or more, in this example, must come in on the bid, there's a bid and offer, must come in on the bid and bid of $76 or more must come in and hold there for at least 1 second. So after you have a $76 bid or more for 1 second, after that, 100 share or more print must go off on the offer at any price above the bid. So for example, if on first, and I'm going to show you right now how it worked and the difference, and you're going to be floored. Just stick with me. So let's say a bid came in at 7603 on First Solar. If the stock starts printing 7603, you have a little print box. It shows you the prints going off. If you start seeing 7603 or lower at that point with a 7603 bid coming in, it didn't trigger. So if a 7603 bid came in on First Solar, in order for it to trigger that $76 level, it must sit there for 1 whole second, followed by a 100 share print at 7604 or higher. And I'm going to be taking questions. And now I just want to show you how it worked. I'm going to draw it out for you guys. And this works almost 100, this pretty much works 100% of the time. That's the beauty behind it. I wasn't, every time I say there's going to be a volume explosion if this level hits, you'll realize like I'm never wrong. And I'm going to show you why. So right over here, and this is something you'll never learn anywhere else. Again, I say that just truthfully. I'm not trying to, sound cocky by any means, but this is all self-taught. All right, so right there, the stock hit $76 for the day. But here's the problem. Look at the volume when you broke $76. Now, I was saying it didn't trigger. Why? Because this did not happen. There was no bid above $76 that held there for a second, followed by a print at the offer. 100 share print or more on the offer. Could be 1,000 shares, could be 200 shares, could be 101 shares. It can't be 99 shares or less. That's what algorithms have programmed in for a whole lot. Most algorithms ignore partials, trades underneath 100 shares. That's why I'm explaining this to you. That's why it happens, if you are curious. Irrelevant for why. This is a fact. So when that was going up early, and I was telling you guys, after 11:30, I'm like, guys, it didn't trigger. It didn't trigger. And then what happened was, during the day where you have the least amount of volume, like at 1:30, you broke 76 again. And then I was like, okay, guys, now you triggered. See the difference? You already broke $76. So this isn't about a whole number breaking and you have a lot of volume at every whole number. The whole number broke before. Right over here, it actually had a high of the day of 76.05. That was the high of the day right there. So it actually broke 76 there in terms of printed over $76, but it didn't trigger. Look at the difference in volume when I said, okay, guys, it triggered now. Look at, that's robots right there. It's readable, it's predictable, and it's easy to find. That is a robot right there with that volume. Now, the time of day also has a lot to do with it. If it was 3:30, this volume bar would be minimally 2.5 to 4 times larger. If it was 3:30, if it was 10:30, if it was between 9:30 and 10:30, or 3 and 4, that volume bar would have been 2.5 to 4 times larger. The time of day where something triggers matters. The time of day in which you're trading matters. You ever notice how some traders are so much better from 9:30 to 10:30, and then after that everything slows down and they have trouble making money? How often has that happened to you? And then sometimes it picks up after 2:30, right? It's not a coincidence. So that is exactly what is happening with First Solar. That is exactly how we read the algorithms. And when you take my trend line class, guess who's buying the stocks? The majority, besides for us, the robots. I hate to make this sound like the Matrix. Like, oh guys, we're all in the Matrix here. It's robots controlling everything. But let's just be honest, they are. Yesterday, we thought that General Motors, for example, would push up higher today because it bottomed out around 42.65, right where our trend line is. It hit a low of the day of 42.61. Let me translate that for you on a 5-minute. Here's our trend line from the daily, right over here. I'll leave it highlighted. Look how we pulled down. Yes, this is a 5-minute of GM. Look how it started plummeting after Canada said that Trump was going to withdraw the United States from NAFTA. And we slammed against this level, bounce, slammed again, bounce. That's why I thought we were going to go up in GM today. Why? Because I connected the December 19th and December 20th high on General Motors. And you know what? The majority of the algorithms for the big firms who do the most volume, they also drew that line. And how do I know? Because I have helped assisted them before in several of their codes. And this is exactly what I teach them of what to do. So what are we doing here when I'm calling these trendline bounces? We're taking advantage of what we know is going to happen ahead of time with robotic buying. That's how I have accuracy. We also said the same for Intel. You guys were asking me yesterday, where do I buy Intel? Where do I buy Intel? And I said 42.52. That was my answer to you. Buy 42.52. And you're probably like, where do you get that number? Look at the low of the day yesterday, 42.44. And we're going to bounce today, right? Bang. How many of you guys caught Intel? Heck, Julian, you were nice enough to give your General Motors trade to charity. There are people in this room who took that General Motors and Intel trade and actually wanted to donate it to charity. Like, when I hear things like that, you wonder why I'm running this room. You wonder why I believe in the cause of what we're trying to accomplish. You wonder why I believe in this community. You wonder why making money is such an important part of helping the world. You know how many, it's so funny, some of the poorest people in the world are the nicest and most generous people alive. You know that? You know, it's the people who don't have the most money is the same person who would give you their shirt off their back. Why is that? And then when you take someone like that and you help them come into money, they do great things. So, what am I besides really a facilitator of somebody who's trying to read algorithms, trying to make money in the market, and trying to do better for the world? There is so much, you know, it's so funny. There's so much we're going to bring you that you haven't seen during the open house. I just realized today that somebody in the open house didn't know that I was giving live Forex trades. And, you know, I caught some, I got stopped out on others, but overall, you know, we're going to make money. It's extremely consistent on an overall basis. So we're literally giving like Forex trades, or even if you couldn't spend 1 second in the room, you could have these Forex trades and try to make a living. Even if you couldn't spend 1 second in the room, you could get our overnight trades and make money on a consistent basis. No, I don't make money 100% of the time, and no one does, but you're going to make money consistently. This is how you change people's lives. This is how you do it. When you start caring for others more than yourself, that is how you do the best for other people. So when I'm asking you to join, please understand that it's not because I want a percentage of your sign-up fee, which I do get a minor percentage of your sign-up fee. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I know that if I'm able to have an impact on your life, and you're able to do good to the people and your loved ones around you, that you're going to do good for more than just them, more than just your wife, your family, your husband, your children, your in-laws, your parents, whoever you're taking care of, whoever you care for, anybody else, a friend, a neighbor. You're going to become a really good person to others. And that's the whole idea of pay it forward. The whole idea is you try to bestow upon somebody something so great, financial independence, that they're actually going to come out of their shell and do for others. That is why I'm a broadcaster. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for, you know, I'm not in it to waste anyone's time. I'm in it because I honestly and humbly believe at the end of the day that you making money alongside with me is going to change the world for the better. So with that being said, here are the names I'm watching for overnight. Just thought you guys might want to see how the A+ trigger worked. I'll answer any questions in the room. And then, of course, if any of you YouTubers have any questions, you know, look, you YouTubers are watching this video for free right now, right? I'll always answer your question. You guys know that. Anytime you email me and you ask me a question, anything I can help you with, I take the time and I respond to you, right? If you have any questions about anything I discussed tonight, email me. Ask me that question. mark.melnick@t3live.com. I'll be more than happy to help you. So First Solar was one of our overnights. Here was one of my thought processes on taking it as an overnight. I mean, is it going to work tomorrow? Nobody knows, but look what happened. Look what happened last time you started popping up on big volume. Look at December 5th where you popped up on big volume. You closed at 61.21, opened up at 62.08. You had high volume again. You closed at 63.24. You opened up at 64. You had high volume again. You closed at 64. You opened up at 68.96. So basically what I'm saying is, you know, I put basically that $100 target when we were digesting over here and I don't know whether you guys thought I was crazy or not. It looks a little smarter every day. But let me go out with another crazy prediction now that we're here. What if I told you that we could get to $83 within between now and next Friday in First Solar? Would that be a bold enough prediction for you to get to $83 to get a 10% move higher between tomorrow and next Friday? Now, it may or may not happen. The market could collapse. Somebody could come out and start downgrading this thing. The famous dump and pumper Andrew Left could come out and say, according to my Ivy League geniuses, I think this company is worth $3.78. And then, of course, First Solar will drop, and then it'll pop back to all-time highs, just like Wayfair did. And no, by the way, First Solar isn't remotely close to all-time highs. I know some of you are seeing this pop like, wow, it must be at all-time highs. No. The all-time highs of First Solar, $317 back in 2008. I used to trade it back then. But I want to also show you what's happening on the monthly. Look at this breakout on the monthly. This is huge. This is a huge breakout. I think I'm being modest with my $100 target, by the way. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't know, so check this out. From 2006, from November 2006, which First Solar IPO'd, November 2006 to December 2007, for 13 straight months it went up. You had a green close for 13, a green bar for 13 straight up a month. Every time you opened up the month green, you closed green. Does that mean we're going to have 13? Probably not. But at the same token, this is just a major breakout for First Solar. And considering you're above the $76 target, I would like to put a price target for you guys on First Solar. Next stop, $84.82 on First Solar. So we're watching that as well. We're also watching KB Home. So this was just a simple earnings name. It popped up on earnings and closed strong, so I bought it. It fit all 43 of my parameters. I use 43 parameters to decide whether I'm buying these things or not. This one fit all 43 of my parameters, just like First Solar did. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm buying strong names. And sometimes they don't work. I mean, you're not getting killed, but like look at NVAX. Like I was buying in at around 205 yesterday, and the stock was in the 230s pre-market and then fell down. I'm still holding NVAX. We'll see what this one wants to do. But that's why I bought KBH. And last on my list is Progress Software. Another company which reported. I was actually going to buy the $50 calls. I just got so involved with so many other things before the bell that I actually didn't buy it. I'm still bullish on it. It's up 5 cents after hours, which means absolutely nothing to me, whether it's up a quarter or down a quarter. Look for this one to maybe break 51.63 tomorrow. So that's what's on my list. Is there anything on your list? Now would be the time to ask. That's very important. Priyanka is saying that she's looking at her technicals rather than just her P&L. That is a very important thing to do. Good for you. Trade the price, not the P&L. Made a huge difference for me. Amen, Julian. Solid advice. Yep. As you know, Kathy, definitely. Sometimes the simple things. I know so many people who stuck a post-it note over their P&L. Julian, this job is 90% psychology. I would say diet and psychology, wink, wink, or we are just 90% psycho. Or something 90% of something else. So true. Anyone with excessive loot can... Yes, Alfonso. I mean, I've forced stocks to trigger before. I just hit a market order. Sometimes I just literally just throw in an offer and buy 100 shares on the offer when the trigger goes through if it doesn't go right away. I've done that before, but that's not really a strategy. I mean, granted, I'm doing it to make money, but yes, you can force a stock to trigger, obviously. Yeah, and the next one is that 84, 82 level, Robbie. Yes, Mario, it will still trigger even on a dark route. As long as it shows up in the main volume box. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Not everybody has access to all routes. Ones and zeros, Miles, exactly. Thank you, Robin. Alright, so URI, I said I was bearish because you were breaking underneath this rising wedge. Now, what happened, whether it was URI or Hertz, I would have said buy Hertz instead of URI, by the way. I liked HTZ setup more than Hertz. Now, why would I go with First Solar over URI? Okay. First of all, main reason, First Solar had bullish news. So I ask you, what was, for example, the big news in URI today? Nothing, right? Beautiful move. I would still call it bearish every single time you'd ask me here. I wouldn't short it because of these volume bars here that are elevating green, but I wouldn't have chose this one. I still wouldn't have chose this one. I would have definitely have taken a Hertz HTZ over this one. So number one, your URI had no good news. That's number one. First Solar did. What was the bullish news on First Solar? It was a very interesting analyst call coming out of Vertical Group. You can actually, I actually posted it in chat. I'll post it again just so you could read. You won't find it on the top right hand side. I was adding to Julian's analysis this morning. And basically you were initiated with a buy at Vertical Group. Analyst saying, now listen to this analyst talk. It's very important to realize the verbiage. The analyst is saying that his analysis suggests the shares are decidedly undervalued, in parentheses. The analyst sees, in parentheses, significantly outperforming its peers over the next 12 months. So instead of, asking me two stocks from different sectors, an easier question would be, why would you buy First Solar, for example, over SunPower? Or why would you buy First Solar over CSIQ? And that's because ultimately First Solar had the news. Secondly, First Solar had a huge A+ trigger at $86. So I like the technicals on it as well. Not only that, I think URI is a little harder to play than First Solar. I think it's a little more whippier, even though First Solar does move, I get it. But, I mean, if you look at it, First Solar ran $6.31 today. URI moved, not off the gap up, but just on the intraday movements, moved like $5.30. So First Solar had a bigger percentage move, but even if URI did, I still would have made this decision. I'm just showing you after the fact of how it happened. But that was my reasoning for First Solar over URI. Also, I wasn't looking at URI's 5-minute today. I would have been able to give you the bottom of URI if you asked me. I know I said bearish the other day. I would have been able to give you the bottom of URI today if you asked. Just sharing some hindsight points on it. Okay. Let's see. All right, Mark, those Forex trades are sent by mail. I think I haven't signed in, or my email is missing in the letter. Raphael, if you are a member of this room, and it goes for any members of the room, if you want to receive all of these, the game plan and Forex by mail, email me. mark.melnick@t3live.com. Asks to be added. Kathy, CLB, bullish engulfing. Yeah. But, yeah, it is bullish engulfing. That's very strong. And you have support tomorrow at 117.57. Wish we had more volume today, Kathy. Don't like the volume on the bullish. I like the candle. I don't like the volume. Alfonso, I wasn't sold on your trading ability and was considering joining Scott's room. But but your words were impressive. Based on that, you're sold. Thank you, first of all. Again, you should be part of the room in which you feel will really help you make the most money and help you become the best trader you can be. And I'm honored. Thank you. Sure, Alfonso. I'll ask one of the girls, one of the sales girls, to reach out to you. No, Ravi, it isn't. 7661 is not. Just 1 second. Okay, I just sent out that request. PBI, what's it possible? Alright, so Pitney Bowes. You obviously had a very big move today here in Pitney Bowes. There was private equity interest from Carlyle Group and Blackstone. I think it's huge. I think it's huge news that somebody might be interested. I think you watch it definitely tomorrow for a breakout of 1368. Definitely one to keep on the radar, Kathy. We took the... I didn't know. No. I didn't take those calls in First Solar. I took next week's 77s. I think the $80 calls might work as well. I didn't go that far out of the money. That's true. Do I like Baidu? Seems to close well. Yes. Yes, I do. It's a digestive wedge. Looks very powerful. Well done. The time tenter, again, was yesterday when we were saying it bottomed out and you could swing it here. At this point, I look at it and your risk profile just absolutely changed because now you're trading $1 higher from the bottom after we called it. Yes, it could still go higher. Yes, Intel can still go higher. I'm personally not buying it here. So no, not for me. Yeah, I think it could go higher, but no, not worth the risk reward anymore. If you were long from yesterday and you sold a portion of your position or you wanted to even hold all of it, that would be a different story. But at this point, nah. Not for me. Not saying it doesn't work. It's just not the way I trade. Barbara, do I think Kodak would make for a good buy tomorrow if it keeps falling? I didn't even really look at it today. You want me to call a bottom on Kodak right now for tomorrow? Would that be semi-impressive? Okay. Kodak could potentially bottom out tomorrow at $6.97. So since it's a 5-cent spread, think, $6.90 to $7. Could be a potential buy area for Kodak tomorrow. I sold a clip of my Novaks. I don't particularly like it or dislike it, Pablo. I did take a loss on some of the calls though. How do I purchase so quickly on the morning ideas? I'm buying pre-market. I rarely buy in the pre-market, Sadiq. I'm generally waiting for a pullback in order to buy something. So like for example on Nutanix, Sadiq, like we called the bottom of Nutanix today, right? NTNX. It was part of my pre-morning game plan. I shared with you guys the upgrade in the news, and look what happened. Here's the 5 minutes of Nutanix today. It shot up 40 cents. I missed every single one of those trades. It fell down. It broke 37.38. I started buying right at the day lows with a stop right over here underneath 37.33. And guess what? It never hit 37.33 for the entire day, and I watched it go up, watched it go down, watched it go up, watched it go down. It exploded right here, started going through, exploding up through day highs, and I sold it for a profit. So I'm not buying it so quickly. I also gave you guys the heads up. So when I was giving you the heads up on Nutanix, it was around 37.50, and I said, guys, if Nutanix breaks through like 37.40 or 37.38 in this case, I'll look to buy it. So I'm also giving you a heads up to like let you know exactly what I'm looking at so you could prep for it. It's not about being quick. It's about being smart and letting you guys know exactly where my eyes are. That's what I'm doing. That's great, Jed. The way I see the overnights is it's a package. It's a package deal. So let me give you an example tomorrow. Let's say First Solar gaps down 100 points and it goes bankrupt and they file bankruptcy tomorrow. I'll be like, okay, I'll lose all the money I invested in the calls, right? I'm being dramatic here, right? Let's say KBH has takeout chatter and goes up 5 points. I would consider that extremely successful overnights because we are going to make a lot of money if that were to happen. We also took a bull spread on Wells Fargo. I bet on it gapping up. We'll see if that happens. You ready, Barbara? Okay. My thoughts on Acogen. Bullish. Love what you're watching here. Where do I buy it tomorrow? $11.81. CDK. Bullish. I don't have the greatest buy level for you right now. I have to see more digestion before I give you a good buy level. Just watch tomorrow's high. Chipotle, bullish. Like I said, you want to see $333.33. 5 number threes. Very bullish. I would look for a breakout there. Facebook, bullish. It's at all-time highs. Support tomorrow, 186.11. SGH, that's smart. Global Holdings at the bottom of a bullish channel. You could play it long versus 33.51 and see if it comes back and maybe gets a move to 38.39 for a swing. And last but not least, Tesla, very bullish. And the support tomorrow in Tesla, where I'm buying it, would be $333.49 in Tesla. That's where I'd look to buy it. And Roku, of course. Don't have any strong conviction at this point. It's resting on support, so I want to say bullish, but there's so many weird things happen when this stock goes up. Like after Andrew left Bash, he really destroys what a chart looks like, and it does affect the technicals. Gotcha. Jerry, what's my thoughts on OMNRY? I can't even type in that OMRNY. It won't even really show me the symbol, so I can't break that down for you, Jerry. Sorry. If you link a chart, maybe I'll break it down for you. Of course. Oh yeah, I used to trade First Solar when it was, in the $200 and $300 range, so I'm with you, Kathy. I hear you. The truth is, analysts are bandwagons. When a stock's getting beaten up, they all come down and downgrade it, and when it's at all-time highs, they say it's going higher. When it's at all-time lows, they say it's going lower. And that's what an analyst does. Maybe false breakdown. That's a very... I don't know. Don't have any strong opinion either way on that one. James. Will I be holding First Solar for some time, or will I be selling it tomorrow? Maybe both, Ravi. Maybe I'll sell tomorrow and then buy more calls. Depends what the stock does. Carl, do I have the time of day where I tend to do the most trading? What do I eat during trading hours? Great question. Today I had cauliflower rice, which is just chopped up cauliflower with nothing in it. And it's has the consistency of rice. It's not like blendered, it's not like pureed, but it was like cauliflower rice with asparagus, with mushrooms, with avocado, and it was absolutely delicious. And I had some organic coconut amino acids on it. And that's what I ate today for lunch. Sometimes I eat blueberries, sometimes I eat a fruit. But I'm telling you, one of the biggest mistakes I used to do as a trader is I'd go out and I would have a carb heavy or a dairy meal. That's the worst thing you could do. We'll have health discussion classes, why you should not eat dairy. Yes, you drinking milk in your coffee is not good for you. Drink coffee, drink it black, learn to love it. Don't put milk in your coffee. That's one of the biggest mistakes people do. Granted, nobody's going to fix 100% of their habits, but the more you do, the better you'll trade, the better your mind will be. Again, I could tell you stories of improving people's P&Ls by telling them to just drink their coffee black. Some people demanded sugar, fine. I drink coffee every day. Black, no sugar, no milk, no nothing. Organic coffee. Don't drink non-organic coffees. It's the most highly pesticided crop in the world outside of nicotine plants. Tobacco plants, excuse me, that produce nicotine. So do not drink an organic coffee. You're putting a concoction of chemicals in your brain that really screws with your trading. One of the worst offenders is that free coffee pot that's sitting in the office. You have a K-cup machine, buy organic K-cups and carry them with you. Like, I don't want to turn this into a health discussion, but yeah, what you put in your body is going to affect your results. How many stupid trades did you do in the last 3 months? What if I told you it was because you do things like, eat a ton of bread, and, bread literally puts a film around your brain? I mean, this is scientifically proven. I'm not a doctor, but, it's putting a film around your brain that literally delays the release of chemical reactions in your body. So when you do something stupid, you're more likely to continue doing it longer. I mean, some people are listening. They're like, what? What are you talking about, Mark? I eat bread. I make money every day. Okay, you'll make more money if you didn't do that. That's what I'm telling you. And we'll be having lessons on this, by the way, so we'll be showing you guys what's up. Great question, Carl. What I basically do, Priyanka, is I like to wait for the flush and see how it reacts. And then I tell you, of course, in real time, okay, guys, I bought Nudinex here. There's no simple solution like that. Hey, Jeff, thoughts on Micron? Bearish, just as I said earlier today. Jumped in through. I was saying you could short it around 43.83 today in the room, remember? You hit 44 and you fell. This is a bearish setup. I think Micron is going to break underneath 41.39. I would not be surprised to see 40.75. That's $40.75 in Micron. I'm not saying it happens tomorrow. I'm just saying that's where it's headed, in my technical opinion. I do not like Micron at these levels. Opinion on PayPal and Boeing? PayPal is always super bullish. I don't really have a smart level for you. Maybe a very light risk reward if we pull into 78.44 tomorrow. And Boeing, I don't have why not go to 400? The stock is just enormously powerful, and I don't have a good buy level unless it goes under $300. So now I'm just watching. I can't get involved with that. I don't want to long it. I don't want to short it. Definitely don't want to short it. But if it comes down, I would buy it. You ready, Priyanka? AT&T. There is a level in which I want to go long tomorrow. Very important level. Write this one down, Priyanka. $36 on the dot. If AT&T tests $36, and if we're blessed, even breaks it by a little, I'm buying calls. AAL, big mover today. Look for a follow through of $57. Barrick Gold, ABX. $14.38. Home Depot is where I buy it. Home Depot at all-time highs. $188.65 is where I buy it. McDonald's. Why is this stock at all-time highs? Didn't people get smart already? $172.51 is support tomorrow on McDonald's. Nike. Bearish rising wedge. It could still be bullish. I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't long it. True support tomorrow to be bullish, 63.87. Nutanix, look for a follow through from today's high of 38.12. Save, that's Spirit Airlines. Same deal with the other airlines. Look for a breakout of 48.02. XRT, retail ETF, broke ascending resistance. Be careful. It's gapped up after hours. Be careful. You could get a follow-through trade if you want to scalp it through 47.37, but I wouldn't be swinging it off a move like this, not until it pulls back. UGAZ went up after hours. Should you care? No, of course not. Of course you shouldn't care. Don't trade this. You know, those traders who love to, to say, look, but you could just load the boat with this thing and you can have this massive move. You're looking to get your ass kicked, for lack of a better word. The all-time high on UGAZ was $76,812.50. These same shares that you are trading now, with all these reverse splits, these shares are valued at $1,076,800. So these shares were 1,000 times more valuable at one point. There's one direction and this goes, and it's down. And don't think DGAZ is any better. That's the inverse one. This one has an all-time high of these shares of $657 before all the reverse splits. The only thing I could say that makes sense in DGAZ and UGAZ is shorting both of them and making money every week for the rest of your life. It's hard to find locates on this. Otherwise, it would be the most popular strategy in the world. It's the most brainless thing. You take an equal dollar amount short of both, you'll make money every single week for the rest of your life. This is a scam. This is going to be removed in the future. I don't see any of these, like FAS, scam. FAZ, scam. None of these things are going to be around in the future. In my opinion. We'll see. All these triple hedge things are scam. They destroy people. Yeah, so there's cauliflower dough, and yeah, absolutely. I actually have that in my freezer. 59 Tesla. So I didn't really have an alert here on Tesla today, but it was breaking out. The support today I would have given you was $331.82. It obviously never got there. But that would have been my low on Tesla, Kathy. Coconut milk is fine. No milk with my coffee. That's crazy. By no milk, I meant no dairy milk. That is true. Don't drink decaffeinated coffee. I'm in Colombia. That is what we drink. Yep. Absolutely. Is my conviction high that First Solar will hit 83 by next Friday? No, Ravi, it isn't. It's low. But most of my things are low conviction because I'm just looking to make alpha and create money. When I come to you with a Stitch Fix, I have high conviction. When I come to you with a sale, I have high conviction. When I come to you with a First Solar, I really don't care if it hits that level or not, because if it goes to 77 tomorrow, I'll be like, wow, look, I'm up money, done. I'm here just to make money, just to create money every day. I mean, that is my goal with the market. You're funny, Kathy. Dan? Looking at G dot, that's green dot. Bearish / neutral. Breakout levels obviously 61.59. The support tomorrow is 61.17 if you're going to remain bullish. Nvidia pulling back after hours. Would I buy the pullback? Yeah. If it hit $221.23, I might. Not here. Jim, is $250 on Eddies unreasonable around the 3rd month of February? Absolutely not. Very reasonable. And look, you see a series of a bunch of disgusting red bars, but because of my trend lines, I know that I have a great, excellent risk reward from where I bought it today. This trade might work, this trade might not, but I know I have an excellent risk reward on this one. And yes, 350 is definitely in the cards. I know you I know you guys and gals are watching this one over here, and I thought you had a 50-50 shot of it going up. And if it went up, I would have said, yes, good for you girls, good for you guys, great job on netties, and, hopefully you got to move to 350, 360 when you were digesting here in the middle of this range. Like maybe you got that pop to 360, but it didn't happen. It just went down in this case, so I'm just using that opportunity to buy where I like it. And if it goes down further, I might even buy more. Like I see support now at 317.07. If it drops 10 points on me, I probably buy it again, in all honesty. Not because I'm doubling in, but because there's another trendline support there. AMD, okay. Yep, they did. Disney. No opinions on Disney. Support's too far away, 107.51. If you're going to break out to the upside, 111.61. No opinion on Watt here as well. If you're going to break out tomorrow on Watt, you need to get above $24.50. Yeah, Nugget as well for sure, Alfonso. 100%. Like this, these are just all scams. 100% scams. Oh, it's the bullish gold miner. Okay, what's the all-time high on Nugget? Oh, $17,460? That makes no sense. How did that happen? Alright, so the inverse one must be doing really well, right? If Nugget's beating up that much, like Dust. Dust should be doing really well. No. Because the all-time high on Dust is $4,162. That's weird. They're inverse of each other, yet they both fail so phenomenally. It's a scam. And shame on these people who run it. Shame on every single person who runs these ETFs. Because what happens is, you know how many people I spoke to who were bullish on gold, and the way they handled it was they bought Nugget. They were like, oh, I'm bullish on gold, so I'll buy Nugget. And I remember telling the dude, and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Buy GLD. You like gold? Buy GLD. Do not buy Nugget. He bought Nugget, he got killed. Kept averaging in. Alright, gold's gonna bounce back up, he says. That's why I'm buying more Nugget here. That's why they need to get rid of this. That's why this is destroying people, ETFs like this. Biggest scam in the market. I'm shocked they allow it to exist. Shame on them. Great. Looks like we'll have a shorting opportunity in the crypto market, Julian. Almond milk is great stuff. Any type of non-dairy milk doesn't screw with your brain like that. Nonetheless, there is an exception. Like if you're from like Holland, they're using the same cows for over 1,000 years, and a lot of them have genetically have the enzyme in their body to break down the casein and all the proteins in the milk. Look, there's an exception to every rule. Generally speaking, you shouldn't do it. Lockheed Martin, $322.18. It's a far way away miles for me to buy it. Happy pizza. Pizza makes me happy. That was the hardest thing when I gave up dairy, was not eating pizza. That was the hardest thing for me. 'Cause I'm from Brooklyn. I love pizza. Nonetheless, this is a bullish breakout. I love what you're watching here, Happy. $60.15 breakout. Yes, Bob, this is recorded. You know what? If you guys hang around here, after I turn off the screen, I'll send a link to this entire recording. Just stay tuned. Yep. Have a great one, Kathy. Yep. Mark, am I vegan? No, I am not vegan. Not even remotely close. Not that that's a good thing, but I've cut down a lot of the meat I eat. I still eat meat. I do it in moderation. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat Nightly trading broadcast. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Oh wait, hold on. We have more questions. Sorry. When you say, well, Carlos, absolutely. When you're below it and it reaches, I like to buy it ahead of time. So, like for example, There's no easy one-sentence answer I could give you for that, Carlos. He's basically asking if you have an A plus trigger at $76, where would you buy it? And we did it in real time today, right at the low of 1025, right? So that's where you buy it. And if you're able to hold some of your shares or your options or your calls, then you write it through the trigger. And welcome to our community. Thank you for joining. Hey Raymond, you joined the Newsbeat group. How do you get the 2018 broadcast? The 2018 Melnick report? Here. It's in your email box right now. Enjoy it. Robin, charity or a leg up? Okay. I'm not going to give your name, but somebody's basically asking for help. They're saying, fund me with 2K and 6 months in the room, and you will do everything in your power to make good on it. I know that's a lot to ask, but what do I have to lose? I'll tell you this. What I'm going to do is, it's illegal for me to fund you. It is absolutely illegal for me to fund you. Like, I would actually be breaking, I'd be breaking written rules, like, to do that. But what I'm going to do for you is when we do hold our next charities or whatnot, I'll try to get you free courses and free things to learn and things like that, and I will do my best to help you. So I unfortunately can't just write you a check, but I will do everything I can to help you. Okay. Hey, Raphael. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat Nightly. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys. Yes, if you joined the room, if you're a member of the room, and you signed up and you're whatever, yes, send me an email, mark.melnick@t3live.com. Or actually, I think maybe Amber or Monica, when you sign up for the room, will allow you to see my report through the portal. Maybe there's some portal where you could see it. I'll figure it all out tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.